Hello and welcome to Talking Comics issue 34. We're back once again at Limited Edition Comics with a incredible range as always. And I'm here with Rich.
Hi guys.
The owner.
Oh yeah, well, major shareholder. So,
major shareholder.
I'm the boss. I pull the punches.
CEO.
No.
No?
No, I'm not that big. No. Not so.
You need to have a little tower that you in the comic shop.
No,
with a little staircase up into a tower.
We're all equal here.
And you just look down.
As long as someone buys me a coffee, we're all equal.
As long as you get a coffee.
Yeah.
I suppose it's time to get on with the news.
Lots of news.
So much news.
Good news.
Great.
Cool.
First off, Superman Unchained has been released. The first few covers for by DC. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. They look great.
Jim Lee, great stuff. Really good.
And what's exciting is that Scott Snyder is writing this.
Yeah, we love Scott.
And we've got that picture like some time ago where you saw Jim Lee and Scott Snyder was wearing the
kissing.
Pretty much. Almost the Superman t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was great. And I'm really excited for this run.
It's going to be good. I mean, I think DC need a good kick now with something big, and I think with the Superman film coming out, this is the big book for them this summer. Yeah. They've got to do something. Obviously, they've got a big crossover event coming on. Yeah. But Superman's going to be huge.
But I think this is the beginning of them trying to step up their game. I think there's been a lull, hasn't there, really? And now it's them saying, come on, let's make a manoeuvre. Let's move up a gear. Because this is what's going to have to happen. Our movies are coming out. It's time for us to shine. Let's go. People are going to be going to the comic shops for our books, not for Marvel now. Not for Marvel now. Do you get? Not for Marvel now. Never mind. Anyway, so I think it's really good.
It's cool. No, I think DC needs to make this move. It's a bold move to get two big creators on it, on a Superman title.
These are the biggest names they've got.
It is, by far.
It is.
Yeah. Even through Greg Capullo as well, you'd probably say, yeah, that'd be the top three. Yeah.
But he's just done Greg Capullo with Batman, so...
Exactly.
So another thing is that there is a major character dying in DC.
Another big bold move from DC.
Another big bold move from DC, and it's in the Justice League of America issue 4, which is being written by Jeff Johns.
Yep.
And I can't give it away because that wouldn't be fair to everybody. But it's quite a big, like you said, a big bold move. Yeah,
and we had like copies on the website, and we had copies on our eBay site, and we've had copies in the shop, and within a few hours this has been announced, they've gone like that.
Yeah, you know that's how it works. As soon as you get that big news, the comics just fly out.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to pick it up, find out what's going on, who is it that's or if you just check the internet for 5 minutes, I'm sure you got. So spoiler alert: try not to, if you don't want to know, be careful of all the sites at the moment because that's what's going to be up. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, too right.
We've got some variant covers that have come out.
We have, yeah. It's been a good few. We've got some really good ones for X-Men 1. We had the Millar one. We've had like the R1 with the X-Men one as well.
Yes, yeah, and we spoke about that last couple of weeks back.
Which you put a little picture up. Which
I did.
Which is going to a charity, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then we have some Midtown covers, which have been out this week. Obviously, there's a lot of shops in the States doing their own variant covers, but let's face it, Midtown know what they're doing. They're doing some beautiful covers. Yeah, Midtown,
when they bring out a cover, eBay goes mad, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
The Spider-Man covers that came out. Do you remember Spider-Man 700 and Superior Spider-Man #1? The Midtown variant? That was going for like 100 quid.
Yeah, $10 to $100 overnight.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy
stuff. And I don't think we'll see that again because Superior Spider-Man was a bit of a...
It was a special event. It was a special event. But it's still, Midtown, J. Scott Campbell, really, really good covers. Yeah, and this I think is absolutely beautiful. I have to agree with you.
It's a great cover.
Second to your cover, of course.
No, well, of course. Comes nowhere near it.
No, of course. But seriously, absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can see that. If not, I'll put something up at the front. And it really, really, really is quite special. But then that's not the only covers they've been bringing out. We saw a Jupiter's Legacy.
Couple of weeks late, but we've got them in. And this is once again J. Scott Campbell cover, which we think is great. Yeah. Very, very cool indeed. Right. So they've taken a gamble and it's paid off for them.
What do you think about Jupiter's Legacy?
It's alright. It was okay. I think Mark Millar is really just doing stuff that he wants to do, get them out there as IPs, and hopefully, a few of them will click as TV.
Turn into TV movies. That's what he's doing. And I mean, in an interview that we did actually, back really at Kapow, we'll speak about Kapow in a minute, some time ago, he actually said that was the point. He needs to get these series out, get them completed, and then turn them into multimedia,
There's way more money in films than there are in comics, so...
And that's is the next step taking all your next publications
into the movie industry again and crossing over everything?
Oh, that's what I do now. You know, I mean, I've done this for years now. Really, you know, like Wanted we sold as a movie in 2003 or 2004, and then it came out in 2008. Kick-Ass we sold in 2007, it came out in 2010, and Kick-Ass 2, Wanted 2, Super Crooks, Nemesis, War Heroes and so on, you know, these are all in various stages of development. Like a couple of them are shooting this year, American Jesus and Secret Service as well, and my plan is just to do what Marvel did, you know, like in the 40s you had DC, in the 60s you had Marvel, in the 90s there was Image, and my plan is for Millar World to just be this decade's thing like that. So I'm a comics guy, but I'm savvy enough to realise that there's a potential $100 million advert out there for your book if you have a film of it. So Kick-Ass and all that, you know, I mean, it would never have sold like what it did sell if we didn't have a movie tie-in. I mean, we were in the New York Times bestseller list at #1 with a hardcover and everything.
I mean, you're not really an entrepreneur. I mean, you're not really a writer anymore. You're an entrepreneur.
No, I'm a writer. I mean, 99.9% of my time is sitting in front of that computer writing stories, you know. Right. But there's a great history in comics of guys being ripped off, you know, like even the guys who are just a little bit older than me don't own their creations, you know, the Alan Moores and Dave Gibbons and so on, and they've no control over the franchises because, you know, it's out of their hands. Big companies have it. And what I always say to people is either you control it or big companies control it, you know, so the guys who made it up are the people who ultimately, you know, who should own these things morally, you know. So if you don't make sure you own it, you're being really stupid, you know, by letting other companies take over.
LFCC.
Yes.
And Kapow. Before we talk about it.
Okay.
Kapow, kaput.
I think so.
I mean, we haven't heard anything about next year.
No, I think by now
we know it was gone this year.
I think they would have put something out there to say, look, guys, we're coming back. These are the dates for next year.
Just to convince people.
They've got to put these halls up in advance.
Right.
And, you know, I think a year is enough to get this going and get the publicity going, get the marketing, promotion going. And we've seen nothing. Absolutely nothing. But on the other hand, we've seen other shows change their name from MCM Expo to MCM Comic Con.
Yes, and MCM, I have to say, I have never considered MCM to be a Comic Con.
No, not at all.
No. Really, it's been a manga event or an anime event or a computer games event, and there's been a comic alley there. You know, you've got some small creators, indies who are trying to push their stuff, and they've normally done very well there, and I'm sure it's been great for them. But as a Comic Con, I have not really seen it. And not only that, when they had the comic creators there, the big ones, it was always being pushed to the side in the show, and you could barely hear them when they were talking, and it was just badly organised.
The reason why they've called it Comic Con is because comics are really on the up.
Yeah.
And I think they want to buy into this by changing the name of it, and I think really it's been set up as a manga, anime, merchandise, film stroke, TV, sci-fi show.
Right.
They should keep it as that. They've got their fan base. And we've had customers go down there to the show last weekend, and they just thought it was, you know, not worth going because there was no comics there.
Right, but I hear, and I didn't go this year, but I hear on good authority from a lot of friends who went that the comic alley was very, very large, and they really made a larger emphasis on it.
Once again, we had customers who went down there and was quite disappointed with the Comic Con.
Really?
Yeah, it's people that they've seen all the time.
Okay.
Whereas the likes of London Super Comic Con and London Film Comic Con, which we'll get onto in a while,
talk in a minute,
are flying people in.
Yeah.
You had Stanley last year. You had Scott Schneider last year at Kapow. You had big names.
Yeah.
And this is what they need to do. We see the British guys from month in, month out to all the small conventions. They need to bring some big names in to draw people in.
But the London Film and Comic Con, which again I've never taken in the years gone by the Comic Con part of it very seriously.
Yeah.
It's normally been TV series, movies, actors. Turning up and people getting their good sign. So, you know, anything to do with Doctor Who or, you know, really, you know, Star Trek and they'd always have a couple of stars from each of the shows.
Exactly.
I'd love it. Things like the Goonies for a start.
Yep.
You know, they'd have a couple of characters there. And Alex Winter, I was there last year. Who was there
last year as well? Which everybody missed. Dan Slott.
Dan Slott was there.
There we are.
And this is what I was going to point out. They have brought on board, I would say, a I don't want to say a legend because it's
veteran.
A veteran.
Yeah,
it's the right word. A veteran in the business.
Yep.
A veteran in the business. The guy has his own magazine, which has been coming out.
Yeah, not regularly, but he holds his hand up to that and say that there has been problems with printers and designers and stuff like that.
Which I think is down here somewhere.
Multiverse, yeah.
There we go. Let's come back into the screen. Here, Multiverse.
Nicely designed, nicely written.
Yeah, so we've got Multiverse here. And
produced by Mike Conroy, who's now looking after the concerns and interests of London Film and Comic Con, which is good. So he's bringing in people that we want to see.
Yes.
The big one that he's just pulled in was Milo Manara.
Right.
If you're not familiar with his work, he's done a lot of adult stuff in the past, but now he's doing variant covers for Marvel, and people are really digging his stuff. He did an X-Men one-shot about 3 or 4 years ago, which absolutely flew out.
Really?
And we'd like to see more work for him, but I think he's more of a cover artist now. But he's coming across.
J. Scott Campbell, Addy Granov.
Yeah, different style, more of a sort of a European painted style.
But what I mean is that he's purely focusing on
those, yeah, definitely, definitely.
But the fact that they've brought on a professional who actually knows what he's talking about and does with the comic industry.
And has massive contacts.
And has major contacts, shows that they're trying to take maybe the space that Kapow's
exactly
vacated.
We love Kapow. It was a great show. We did very well there.
Yeah.
And we were willing to build on it.
You're right there.
I'm
you dying.
Caught my breath. There we are. I'm so excited about all these conventions.
So what's happening at LFCC this year? Why should people come?
Well, we're doing our own booth again. We're going to be backing on with Scott's Collectibles, who do a lot of CGC stuff actually.
Right. Yeah.
And we're going to have Addy Granov there signing some of our variant covers. Obviously, Addy did our Superior Spider-Man, who's done our Guardians of the Galaxy cover, and also doing our Guardians of the Galaxy #5 cover, which is the Angela.
Oh, so we've got a new variant cover.
Yeah, it's all happening. It's all done.
Addy Granov.
Addy Granov's on it. So
when are we going to see that?
That'll be the end of July, but Addy's going to, I think, sign some copies up for us anyway. But you'll be able to get something signed, something CGC graded. It'll be sent across. It's going to cost you, next to nothing to do.
I hear, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I hear that LFCC are going to have a big Vertigo event.
Which one? Sorry,
they're going to have a lot of the Vertigo.
Brilliant, great
for the fact that Vertigo's anniversary, if you like.
Yeah, bring it on. Definitely.
And that's what I hear.
Very excited.
Mike Carey, people like Mike Carey,
cool.
Lucifer, if you've seen Lucifer, coming on and taking a seat down there. I'm not sure, but that's what I hear on the grapevine.
They got to hurry up because we've only got a couple of months to go. Right. So announce it quickly. But we're taking a big area.
July 5th to 7th.
No, yeah, 5th, 7th July, which is the preview night is the Friday the 5th.
Right.
And then we have the 6th and the 7th.
We'll be down there. So guys, come and say hello to us. We'll be down there. And if you don't get to go down, do not worry. We will give you all the news and catch you up in the following week in a special LFCC special.
Cool. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm afraid that's it from me, and that's it from you this week, Rich.
It is. Yeah.
But stay tuned to next week because we will be back once again with your favourite Zach.
I'm not back. It's Zach, isn't it?
No, it's Zach who's back.
And his review. I think he's doing a nice Green Lantern review. So
yes, he is indeed.
Should be good.
Yeah. Anyway, speak to you again soon. Ta-ta for now.